So, to be continued finished up recently, and it was a rather entertaining event, but I want to focus on one specific story from it, and that is sixth and final story featured, true story. Now, carrying on from my last video on Mansfield Break, this story features Jesselton Miller, the main antagonist for that side story. Now, that in and of itself is enough to convince me that this is worth reading. This side story showcases something a lot more interesting. It showcases how ruthless and efficient the Colombian companies are, and they don't take any prisoner when it comes to their bottom line. What do I mean by this? Well, at the beginning of this short story, Jesselton receives a letter from the company that was backing him during Mansfield Break. This letter details how, as long as Jesselton maintains his good behavior, they'll bail him out of jail and he'll be free to work for them again. So, Jesselton accepts this and, to his credit, continues to act in a upstanding way, taking all the terrible jobs like cleaning the bathroom and even taking physical and verbal abuse from the guards and prisoners without even batting an eye. Even when invited to the weekly inmate beat-em-up, Jesselton stands in the corner doing nothing to help either side. So, my man gets jumped by both infected and non-infected alike. All their tools that they use for their daily jobs are broken by his body, including saws. So, Jesselton maintains his composure through all of this, but we get to see how he's still trying to manipulate his way out. He forges a letter for his fellow inmate, Rick, telling him that his wife Patty is leaving him for a man named Bill. He's doing this to get Rick on his side, to get Rick to associate Jesselton with good things. However, much to Jesselton's dismay, the guards have kind of set this up. They've given him some of the story, but not the full story. And so Jesselton is made to look like a fool when it is revealed that Patty is actually come to bail Rick out of prison. Now the guard rubs this in Jesselton's face, insulting him pretty viciously, trying to goad Jesselton into attacking him, which almost works, but Jesselton holds himself back and doesn't attack the guard. And after this humiliating day, goes back to his room to send a letter to this company, telling them that his skills will dull if he's left in prison for too long, that they should please bail him out soon. Calling himself their humblest servant. Needless to say, Jesselton is at his lowest point here, and he doesn't even realize how low it is, because he is unfortunately the silliest clown in Arknights, because his suffering has been turned into a TV show called True Stories, which is played to the Colombian masses to give them a bit of entertainment in their days. Why am I so interested in this story? It's because it shows how incredibly messed up the Arknights world is. Jesselton, despite not being a good person, probably doesn't deserve to have his entire stay in prison broadcast to the world. The sole purpose of making money of his suffering. Now, Jesselton is a killer, and he probably deserves a pretty messed up fate, but it just goes to show the callousness that is rampant in Colombia, showing that Vine Labs isn't the only company in Colombia that is in need of retribution. And I'm not sure if Jesselton will ever get a unit, but if he does, I'm sure it'll have something to do with this TV show after he gets out of prison, because someone with as much pride as him, I can't imagine he's going to take this lying down. And that's about it. I'm not really sure how to approach these short story events, but in the future, I'll see how many videos I'll be making on these. Potentially be making multiple of them, depending on how interesting side stories are. But for the case of these 6 stories, this is the one that stood out to me the most as the most impactful and enlightening as to the world of Arknights. With that being said, I'll see you all later. Have a good one.